Hi, friends. Welcome back to another game review. For this one, I'm doing something. It's going to sound a little silly to start with, but I promise this is a genuine game that I do have a fair bit of interest in throughout time, which was Bloons Tower Defense 6. I know it sounds super silly. Um, I actually didn't play much of the older versions back of this game. It started on Flash a long time ago. You can still play Flash games, you just have to get a separate program to do it. But this is the sixth installment from the beginning of that. It really stemmed pretty far, I would say. Let me just make sure I have a few details that I do want to offer you. Well, one, it's pretty cheap. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, the game developer and publisher, they didn't really need any separate people to help with them with, which was Ninja Kiwi, I believe a developer based out of New Zealand. Um, Pretty much, if you don't know it's a tower defense game, and if you don't know what a tower defense game, it typically means there's waves coming through. The waves tend to progress in difficulty based on which wave you're on. The first wave is really easy, like nothing, and then you get to like the 100th wave, and it's relatively difficult. Um, the whole thing, I don't know where they got the idea of monkey and balloon being their thing. They just kind of did, and it stuck really well. So, first thing, it came out December 17th, 2018 as well. I just want to let you know that's the last one, or when it was created. I don't know when they're creating the next one, though, but they are still offering pretty frequent updates for this one. So, it might be a little bit longer, but they are probably close to when they're going to start developing the next one. I don't have any information on that, like leaks or nothing. I'm just saying that they've had this game operating for quite a while now. Actually, about 3 years. Yeah. No, four. Sorry, my math was mathing wrong. 4 years now. I'm assuming they're probably in the works of a new one, as like in the near future. I would assume. Um, but they did. They stuck with monkeys and balloons being their thing. You have however many towers. I want to give you that information before I do this. I think there's like 12, 15 of them, somewhere around there. I'm gonna have to give it to you. Hold on. Let me make sure I give you some cool, good information. Here's your Wikipedia. That way you could tell me. You get to tell me. Please, please, monkeys. Oh, and heroes too. That's cool. I forgot about them completely for a moment. You want to tell me how many towers there are? I'm offended. Come on. No, they're gonna tell me on this site. That's sucky. Um, I believe there's around 15. There's a lot of them. I'll give you that much. Uh, Towers you can utilize. I know there's four. There's primaries, which are kind of just simple towers that are all around good in a way. They don't have a specialty per se. They do have specialties, but the primary towers do not have any kind of designation, so to speak. You have your military towers, which are meant to be like really high damage towers, I presume, based on the ones they are. And then you have magic towers and then support towers. Um, all of them are utilized exceptionally well. There are few towers that are not designed to be attacking, and that's pretty much your like either your money making towers, such as your banana farm, bananas, or I think there's one more that doesn't necessarily attack. No, actually, I think it might be only the banana farm. Part of me wants to start it up, but then you're just gonna get blasted with music. But pretty much I'll break down a few of the towers that you'll kind of see mainly throughout the game. You got your standard dart monkeys, stuff like that. You that just toss one dart, they can go into a few things, and then you have things like dark towers which shoot in a circle. You have sniper monkeys can shoot the whole map. You got buccaneers or ship monkeys that shoot ship monkeys that shoot like a cannon on the side kind of thing, like a big old pirate ship. You also got like engineer monkey throwing down turrets, and then you got uh like a tack tower that just shoots out tacks on the track. The way it's kind of like a defensive system more than anything. They did introduce heroes into this game. Heroes are specialty monkeys that have a very unique kind of way of going about how they attack or defend or support. And there's quite a few. I want to say there's like 11 of them, I think, at this time. I don't know if they're going to be adding any more, but they are adding new skins for them, I've noticed throughout time. Um, they're really cool. If you want a more in-depth review, I might think about something in the future, like doing a proper review of the game, like playing wise and showing you everything. But right now, I just want to give you the bare things of a lot of it. There are also superpowers and or powers and deployables that you can also utilize, which are like, oh, you get this much money that you just click a button. You'll earn these things through challenges and things, by the way, or through your daily login. They have that where they encourage you to play daily. Um, you get them through those ways, and they can be used in any game pretty much. I think except a few modes will restrict your powers. That way you can't like cheat through a challenge or something. Uh, uh, and then you have deployables that can be put onto the field to do certain things throughout the game. And then lastly, is there any other monkey-based things I want to talk about? No, probably not. Um, there are a few modes in this game. There's like your standard, just survive through a map on a round, like a round-based system. Go up to 100 or goes up to 80 if you're on the hardest difficulty, and then you can go free play, which is just going on for as long as you wish it to go on. They also have things like odysseys, which are like pre-made map challenge things, and you can only bring certain monkeys with you. You go through the entire thing. That's the way to earn like trophies and stuff, which unlock you like customizable things for your monkeys or the balloons or anything like that. There's also boss events they have nowadays. The bosses are there pretty much all the time, but they rotate out which boss it is, and they I think currently have 3 bosses to rotate out. These bosses are very difficult, have their own things that are special to them. You do have to be pretty talented at the game, like economic wise and everything, for them to be achievable. Uh, so they are good challenges in there. So it's not just like a game that's like I'm just gonna breeze through or something like that. Balloons come in different sizes and shapes, by the way. There's your regular balloons, and they kind of go up, and then they get special kind of types that you'll interact with, such as like, oh, a metal balloon can only be blown up by explosions, or a tough enough damage kind of threshold. Or you got things like ceramic, which are even tougher, or invisible balloons or something like that, where only things that can see camo can see them. You got those types. There's a few more, and then they range up to being blimps or what are they called? I guess they're called blimps in this one. They don't. They all have different names, kind of the thing. So pretty much, there's like 6 different kinds of blimps you can also like get, and they're way hard. By the way, how the balloons do work is when they pop, they go into the next tier below them. If you do enough damage or anything, it'll just go cut through them immediately. But that's how they go. They go 1, 2, 3 to the very bottom, and that's how you get rid of them. Uh, you have a ton of maps, by the way, for this game. An absolute ton. This is a game I do recommend heavily for anyone who just wants something that's like nice to nice just to play. Nothing that require like unless you're getting into like the really challenging stuff, it's a game that you could really kind of turn your mind off when playing. And it still gives you that kind of cool dopamine effect of I'm winning at something. But no, I heavily recommend it to a lot of people, especially for those of you who may have kids or something like that. Um, it's a cool little game, very fun, very intuitive, super creative with a lot of things. I didn't talk about the forgot to talk about one monkey thing, which is each monkey has a set of 3 sub categories to upgrade into, getting money from popping balloons and everything. And each kind of specialized by the end into something completely different from the other two. So you can make a really crazy combination of towers with this game. And that's the thing I do like the most. They're super creative. They're like way more than you'd think would be put into a game like this. It's like a level of creativity that I think outshines what you might believe. But no, I do heavily recommend it to a lot of you people that have like kids and or just want something that's enjoyable that isn't like competitive or anything. Like in the sense of like you're not playing Call of Duty or Counter Strike or something like that, where you're like having to stress all the time. It's like it can feel stressful at moments, but for the most of the game, it's super enjoyable and just nice to turn your brain off for a moment. But I would probably give it about a. Sorry for making weird faces at you guys. I'm sorry. Probably give it about a 8 out of 10. It's pretty good. There are some moments where I'm not the like best with it or anything, but I always come back to it. It's one of those few games. By the way, it's one of those few games I can tell you a play hours played of it. Let me see. I do have balloons. Let's see. I played it recently. Yeah, 55 hours. And that for being a game that like most people probably don't look at anymore as much. Actually, people look at it pretty heavily. I forgot to mention that when I was looking at the page. It's got 201,000 reviews, which are majority wise overwhelmingly positive. I do agree upon that too. I would give them overwhelmingly positive. So that's saying a lot. And I'm sure there's people out there with crazy numbers in them. I won't give out any of these names, but 148, 1,133 hours when this review was posted. You got 190, 209, 85. You know, they range very wildly. But they are like definitely a 1,300, 1,295 at review. That's crazy. See, like, and that's what I mean. You could put as many hours. You really like this game. You could put as many hours into it as you like. So that'll be it for this review. As always, I like to ask you to like and comment. How if you have played it, what do you feel about it? What's your favorite tower, and like what tier do you like it going into? If you haven't played it before, like, is it sound interesting enough to try, or is it just something that you might look at it and be like, oh, it's a kid's game or something like that. But you're like, you're not far off, but give it a chance. It could be something that you really enjoy or just have something like nice to do every so often. But as well, I always like to ask you to subscribe. If you do, I think you're wonderful. If you don't, I still think you're wonderful. So it's completely up to you. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.